Sideshow. Here we are today with Dub Effects and Flower Fairy at Fall Down Gallery. Welcome to Canada, guys.
Thank you.
So tell us first up a little bit about Dub Effects, what you're all about.
The concept sort of started mainly as just an idea to travel around Europe. That was my intentions. I'd seen a few people back in Australia looping their voices, the guy called Mel Webb actually, and in a sampler, and I thought, shit, I could do that. And I wanted to go traveling through Europe, and I did. That was it. I never practiced it before in my bedroom. I just went overseas, and I met Flower Fairy within like the first few weeks of doing this thing on the street, and she started selling my CDs, and instantly we just started traveling around Europe and refining the art, and 5 years later, here we are.
You're probably most recognizable for your beatboxing styles. Tell me, how did you get into beatboxing to start off with?
Well, it's funny that a lot of people refer to me as a beatboxer, but I'm actually a really shit beatboxer. I can only make 3 sounds: kick, snare, and a hi-hat. And just having been around music my whole life and been in bands for 10 years or whatever, I know how to shuffle those 3 sounds around to make drum and bass beat or a hip-hop beat or a reggae beat or whatever.
You come from a background where it's been predominantly a lot of street busking in the early sort of stages, and you've sort of played all around the world on different streets and that sort of thing. How did you go going from the streets to actually playing on stages? Was it a pretty easy sort of an evolution to make?
Well, as far as like, I'd already been playing, you know, in Melbourne when I was in a band. I was in a few different bands. You know, I'd played in pretty much every venue in Melbourne before I started street performing. So I was quite used to playing in club situations. And when I started street performing in England, it was probably after England. The thing about Manchester in England, like, people are so turned on by music there that seriously after the 2nd or 3rd time I went out street performing, I got a gig in a club. You know what I mean? And I kept getting gigs, and I kept, you know, I think the first gig I ever got in England was MCing for Stanton Warriors, and the next night, that was a Friday, the Saturday night was MCing with Pendulum. No shit, like
keeping all Australian there with Pendulum.
There you go, exactly.
Absolutely.
They had their own MC, but I was hosting the rest of the night. You know what I mean? So I would MC with them exactly. So that's a bit of a lie. But anyway, so yeah, like that was, I kind of was already in that, like playing in clubs, and so I was able to sort of already kind of refine my sound. Like I had a good sound from my little speaker in the street, but then going to the club, I had to tweak it a bit more to make it sound heavy in the subs and all that. So I was kind of constantly working backwards and forwards, and I was street performing a lot. I was playing in clubs. I was playing at festivals a lot. Nowadays, obviously, I'm not the freak act that plays in between the DJ for 40 minutes. You know, that's what I was getting booked as. Nowadays, I'm sort of starting to, you know, be more of a headliner or whatever. So that's a lot more fun. I get more time to express myself.
Make some noise for Mr. Woodnote, yeah? Joined at the soul with a pair of headphones. We need nobody to let ourselves go. Always on my side as we rock a stage show. In an ocean of music, we move with the flow. A hand in my hand, I don't wanna let go. A partner in life on this mean old road. We got the wind on our back that blows. We can't drift apart, we just move with the flow. Joined at the soul with a pair of headphones. We need nobody to let ourselves go. Always on my side as we rock a stage show. In an ocean of music, we move with the flow. Hand in my hand, I don't wanna let go. A corner in life on this mean old road. We got the wind on our back that blows. We can't drift apart, we just move with the flow.
This is Dub Effects, Flower Fairy. You're watching the Knowledge on Sideshow. Thanks very much.
Started with a chat with the lips, but why is it so I'm intrigued?